Welcome back to the Monkey Mathematician. Today we'll be looking at the order of operations. Our learning objectives for today is to learn of the order of operations using the abbreviation BODMAS, and we're also going to be looking at some questions on this abbreviation. So BODMAS is the order of operations, and we follow it in its tiers. So it starts from tier 1, which is B, and goes all the way down to tier 6, which is S. So tier 1 is brackets. Brackets can obviously be known as this, which is seen in most expressions and functions. It goes next to O, which is order of powers or roots. Powers being the raised to power 2, raised to power 3, and then roots being the square roots, cube roots. Division being the divisor, multiplication being the product, addition being the sum, and subtraction being the minus. So we must always follow this order whenever we're in an operation, whenever we're following a function, etc. If they give us a question, we must be able to follow this order, because if we follow it in a different way, we will not get to the correct answer. An example of this can be seen here with 7 times into bracket 3 plus 4. Remember BODMAS? You can also look at this question, but remember BODMAS, and it says that we must start from brackets. So the operation, or rather the expression inside the brackets, is 3 plus 4. So what we must first do is that we must add the 3 and the 4 inside the brackets. So when we do this, it leads to us getting 7. And then we can go to the next, which is multiplication, and that leads to us having 7 times 7, which equals to 49. What a lot of people may do is that they may just decide to 7 times 3 plus 4, which will not make sense, because if you do 7 times 3, that is 21, and then add 4, that equals to 25. That will not lead to the correct answer, because this is not following BODMAS. So this is wrong, and this will be correct. The next example is 45 minus into brackets. This is also seen as a bracket. 20 times into brackets 4 minus 3, bracket close, bracket close. Now this is a very interesting question where we have two brackets. One contains the 20 times, then the other bracket which contains the 4 minus 3. What we must do is that we must look at the first bracket, which is this one. This one has the equation 20 times into brackets 4 minus 3. When we look at this, we notice that there's another bracket, and again, following BODMAS, we can see that we're meant to start with the brackets. And so when we see the brackets here, we must first do 4 minus 3. That gives us 1. After doing that, we can then do 20 times 1. By doing 20 times 1, we're able to get 20. And so that equals to 20. After that, we can now go to the original equation and now say 45 minus 20, and that equals to 25. We are never supposed to forget about these brackets, because again, if we were to say, okay, 45 minus 20, this is correct. If we were to say 45 minus 20, that would be 25. And then imagine we then say 25 times 4 minus 3. So 25 times 4, then minus 3. So 100 minus 3, that's 97. This will be wrong, because this does not follow the order of operations. It must first start with brackets, then the powers, and then it goes to division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. So we have the first working, and the states whether the equation is true or false. And I can give you time to answer this, and then you can check your work. So if we pause the video and you check through, you'll be able to, and you've answered the question, we can start with BODMAS. Most of the time, if you're just learning this, you can stick this out so you can be able to remember. Again, brackets, order of operation, order of power rather, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So these are two separate equations, but they want us to see if the answer to these equations will become the same. So we'll start with the first one. 1 plus 4 times 20 plus 5. 1 plus 4 is in brackets. So we must first add that. So this will give us 5. And then you have 5 times 20 plus 5. So we're done with the brackets. There are no powers, so we can skip that. There's no division, we can skip that. Then we have multiplication. So we must multiply the two values that are beside the multiplication sign, which is 5 and 20. So 5 times 20 will give us 100. And then we can finally add that to 5. So that equals 105. Now we look at the second equation here, which is 1 plus 4 times 20, then close brackets plus 5. Remember, we must start with the brackets. And so 4 times 20 in the brackets will give us 80. And then we have 1 plus 80 plus 5. So then we can add all of these together because they are all plus. So 1 plus 80 is 81. 81 plus 5 is 86. Now, the two answers here are not the same. And so the equation is false. Or the two equations are false because they do not equal to each other. So you can say here false. So the next question tells us to put one pair of brackets into this calculation to make it correct. So we have a pair of brackets that are here, and we're only going to put one. And so this question follows the order of operations. So we have a BODMAS that will be affecting this question. We must then look, where can we put our pair of brackets, where when they are put, the answer will then equal to 0. So there are many places to put these brackets, but it always leads to error. Most of the time, it always leads to errors. Like let's say what to put it at 5 minus 4. This should just give us 1 times 3 minus 9 minus 2. 1 times 3 will equal 3. Minus 9 minus 2. This obviously will equal to minus 8, and this will be wrong. So we must then look at other places that we can possibly put this. And a lot of times we have to think out of the box in this kind of question. For example, let's say let's put it here. 3 minus 9 minus 2. 5 minus 4 times 3 minus 9, which is equals to minus 6. And then times minus 6 minus 2. This would still give us minus 4 times minus 6. So 5 plus 24 minus 2. That will equal to 27. And due to BODMAS, because of the multiplication coming before the subtraction, we must add to that. And minus times minus will give us positive. So that's why there's 24 there. But still, this is wrong because it gives us 27 and not 0. So, and then if we look again, we can see that, okay, 9 minus 2. 5 minus 4 times 3 minus 9, and then minus 2. These ones are inside the brackets. 9 minus 2 gives us 7. And then 5 minus 4 times 3 minus 7. Remember, we must do the brackets and we must do the multiplication before the subtraction. Minus 4 times 3. So that will then be minus 12. 5 minus 12 minus 7. This will still not give us an answer. Instead, this will give us minus 14. Again, this is wrong because it doesn't equal to 0. And so you may be wondering, okay, where else can we put this? Well, it's not just only two numbers you can put a bracket through. You can put them through 3, through 4, through 5, 6, etc. until infinity, in fact. The only way you must know how to do this is when we look at the numbers themselves. So we have 5 minus 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is minus 4 times 3 is minus 12. 5 minus 12 minus 7. Minus 7 minus 9 minus 2 does not give us an answer. So let's say what put our brackets here. We start our brackets maybe here. And so 4 times 3 will be a part of that. But instead of just leaving it at 4 times 3, we can go and put our brackets at minus 9. And so our brackets will now be here. So let's say what to solve this equation before our subtractions, because again, bracket comes before subtraction. So then we have 5 minus, into bracket 4 times 3, which is 12. Then 12 minus 9, and then minus 2. When we do 12 minus 9, this will give us 3. And remember, the minus outside will directly affect the 3. And so minus times plus, because this has a plus here, will give us minus. So 5 minus 3 minus 2. When you do 5 minus 3, that gives us 2. 2 minus 2 will equal 0. So the best place to put this, our pair of brackets, will be in between 4 times 3 minus 9. So a lot of times it always feels confusing, but we must always think outside of the box. It's not only in possibly 5 minus 4 that you can only put the brackets. Again, we can even put it at 5 minus 4 times 3. It's just to think outside of the box so that you can be able to answer the question. So we go on to the next question, which is work 3. So again, you can pause the video to try and solve it out for yourself. So the next question has 7 times root 16 all over 2 cubed plus 7 squared minus 1. So again, we'll follow the rules of BODMAS. So BODMAS starts with the bracket, but again, there's no bracket here. Then it goes to the order of operations and roots. And so we can see here that we have a cube, we have a square, and then we have a square root. Again, square root does not have any number on top of it, while cube root has a 3, and all the others have numbers there. Just remember. And so we can start with finding the order of operations on the roots, or order of roots rather. So root 16. Through our table, we remember that root 16 equals to 4. 2 cubed is equals to 2 times 2 times 2, and that equals to 8. 7 squared is equals to 7 times 7, and that equals to 49. So we know what root 16 is, 2 cubed is, and 7 squared is. So we can just input that into the equation. So we'll substitute that for them, and so root 16 again is 4, so 7 times 4 over 2 cubed plus 7 squared minus 1. So then this would then be 8 plus 49 minus 1. 7 times 4 equals to 28. So that equals to 28. And then we can continue on with the subtraction and the addition. 8 plus 49, 57. 57 minus 1 equals to 56. And so then it will be 28 over 56. So then when we divide it, or when we put it into its simplest form, it will have 1 over 2. And so our answer here will be 1 over 2. The next question has us doing very similar work, and that starts with minus 30 plus into brackets, remember the brackets, 18 divided by, into brackets again, 3 minus 12, then plus 24. Then all over 5 minus 8 minus 3 squared. So we'll have again the BODMAS. So we'll start again with how we saw it as brackets. We have 2 brackets here, funny enough. And so what I even do is that I'll take out the bracket and put it outside. So now it will be root into bracket rather 18 divided by 3 minus 12 plus 24. And inside this bracket, where we must start our equation, it then has again another bracket inside, which is 3 minus 12. So before the division, before the addition, we must start with the bracket. So what is inside the bracket is 3 minus 12. And 3 minus 12 is equals to minus 9. So we'll then substitute 3 minus 12 and put minus 9 inside. So 18 divided by minus 9 plus 24. Now, we are done with the brackets here. Order of operation of roots and powers. There is no power here, so we'll skip that and then we'll go to division. Here we have a division, and so that is 18 divided by minus 9. So we do this before we go to the addition. 18 divided by minus 9 will give us minus 2, because 18 divided by 9 is 2, and any plus or any addition or any plus divided by minus will always equal to minus. Plus times minus again will equal to minus. Plus times plus equals to plus, and minus times plus equals to minus. And so now that we remember that, we can then continue. 18 divided by minus 9 will equal to minus 2. Then we do minus 2 plus 24. Minus 2 plus 24 will have us equaling it to 22. So now we can continue on. Now remember, we removed this part of it from the whole equation. That doesn't mean that there are still other parts of it that I won't forget. So we now have minus 30 plus these brackets. And when we solve for those brackets, we got 22. So then we'll say minus 30 plus 22 all over this part. 5 minus 8 minus 3 square. So remember, BODMAS, the order of powers and roots comes before the minusing. So we must start with the order of roots and powers. So 3 square will give us 9 because it's equal to 3 times 3. Now I remember that. We then say 5 minus 8 minus 9. I must start with the subtraction. Again, this is both subtraction. 5 minus 8 will give us minus 3. Minus 3 minus 9 will give us minus 12. And so we now know what is our denominator here. It's minus 12. And our numerator will be minus 30 plus 22. That equals to minus 8. And so we can then put those together and say minus 8 over minus 12. Minus cancels minus because minus divided by minus will equal to plus or positive. And so this will then equal to 8 over 12. And now that we can make that into our simplest forms, divided by 4, divided by 4. So our answer will equal to 2 over 3. And so that's it for this video. I'd like to thank you all for being able to listen to this video on order of operations. Hope you are able to learn bits and able to learn a good amount through the workings. If you have any questions, you can just reply in the comment section or check out my email, which will be inside the details below. Thanks again and enjoy your time.